Monster kill!
Battle begins.
I think they're really confident in the Razor matchup. I think they used it to great success. They would pretty much use Sonic Wave to break Link every fight, kind of push it, Piers away. It also gives them a lot of team fight to back up the Chen.
How's her game going to be impacted, though, versus the Kunkka now instead?
Yeah, the big difference was when he was versus Coddle, who generally give free lanes to the enemy mid. And he was able to actually pressure the Coddle out of the lane, which was really surprising. But yeah, Kunkka, one of the better heroes versus Quap. Either will just pressure him down with the Tidebringer, or he can regen every 80 seconds with X and teleportation. So I wouldn't be surprised if mid actually goes pretty in the favor of Nothing to Say this game.
Well, certainly very well versed on this hero, on that Kunkka, and if you can find those X combos, can be one of the really good answers too to the Queen of Pain, having that extra bit of disable. Once the X comes in, you have the Rubik lift, the X comes in, you have the roll from Earth Spirit. So a lot to potentially work for them into their favor for LGD in a game that they must win if they want to keep their hopes alive in this Arlington Major.
I feel like so many of us, though, are just looking to collapse and just thinking they went for the axe. You know, the confidence there, feeling it. I mean, he keeps coming out, waving his arms for the crowd. They keep giving the love back. So I feel like, the crowd picked this axe this time.
That's
so
right.
When the dunks come out, I expect very loud cheers.
He is using axeless axe as well, so, got to be ready.
The people love it.
That's true.
I'm a lot more confident with this LGD draft compared to the last game. They have kind of catch on 2 of their cores now, as opposed to, none of their cores had catch really, outside the Naga, who doesn't really want to show up. So the Kunkka can make plays, Chaos Knight can make plays. They can also set up Kunkka IO, very classic. The X lasts long enough for a relocation from the IO to connect to plays. So they're actually have the ability to take fights, as opposed to kind of hoping for this mid-tier 1. And when the mid-tier 1 never came, then they didn't have a game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how Yado's game plays out as well. Like last game, he got to be so greedy, but this time probably going to be involved a little bit earlier. And then you're trying to be this front line. You're trying to break up these engagements that LGD are playing. Otherwise, you're not really playing Bristle. I don't know. It doesn't look like this dominant Bristle game that we're so used to seeing, where he has some crazy good combo with, and this time just relying on the Chen for the sustain.
Already, Collapse takes a couple punches there. Ame able to force him back. A big wave getting together, but you can already see the Rubik. Mira trying to connect it in, and Y able to play a little bit of intercept there. So the creep waves are kind of going to meet in this strange limbo area, and the range creep even being left behind that one too.
The one thing exciting is when you pick stuns, you can actually kill in your lane. So I think these lanes are going to be a little more exciting. Kind of everyone has kill threat. More so in this top lane, I think we actually are probably going to see a kill in the next minute or two, just based on all the trading that's going to go on, the IO sustain with the headdress, and someone's going to get too low at some point.
Tokyo gets clipped there by Torrent and has not really been able to throw out many of these daggers for that regen either. Trying to get into that bottle as quickly as possible here.
Yeah, falling behind on Queen of Pain kind of feels bad. You hit the bottle and reset, but even Kunkka just will reset the lane better. He also buys his bottle on Nothing to Say a little earlier, so Toronto might not even get the water rune by the time he has bottle.
Jeez, I tell you, someone who's having a real bad time. So Poshka started out there with a Holy Persuasion. Now just has to grab a range creep because they have so many blocks, body blocking the small camp, sentry on the other camp, and then not even giving him a chance to get anywhere near any of those other creeps. Of course, just higher levels there too.
Makes them less valuable, and across all of the lanes right now doing really good, and particularly as you mentioned mid, where it's 13-2 for the Kunkka versus just 7 last hits on Toronto Tokyo, although the wave is pushing under him, so he'll get a couple here, but definitely not going the best.
I mean, even already, it's 400 gold advantage for the Kunkka. It's just 2 minutes in the game. He doesn't start farming as small. He hasn't gotten to level 5, where that's when Kunkka starts taking off, so it's going to be a little scary. If an early BKB on the Kunkka lets him just walk into 5 heroes.
But look at that. Some creeps getting sent out, and that might be a stack eventually. But Poshka's going to go down.
He was microing, he's...
Q ends up dropping, but that's something I haven't seen in a while. The range creep to stack.
Yeah, meanwhile, the micro of the courier as well. Poor little guy running the whole way across the map just for that ring of health. Shows you the difficulties of getting to that secret shop. On the bottom side is Yadoro chasing the tree line, stunned up.
Rolled in and killed. So LGD in this bottom lane putting on that pressure and killing off both the heroes, but the maybe long game from the economy could end up coming out to favor Team Spirit if they can not lose too many heroes in the laning stage.
We did see LGD take down the Spirit Chen in the upper bracket finals, so they kind of already were confident versus this. Even though Spirit shows that they still feel strong about it, they still feel it's good, they take it in the first phase, LGD have beaten it, and they're showing that they're going to beat it in the lane again.
Oh, Zinq, imagine. Almost able to get the Ring of Health. That would have been such a disaster for Yadro in the bottom lane.
Came very close to sniping that courier out. And, I mean, still, you look at all of the lanes, and all of them are in the lead right now for LGD. But with Collapse having his Ring of Health done, is going to try and pull this wave through and sort of dodge the laning. But, yeah, building up these stacks, just going for one at a time now.
Anytime your lanes go kind of bad and you're a Chen, it worries you a little because you know you need to make early moves. This hero doesn't scale well unless he's actually able to pressure the whole game. So maybe his mech's going to be a minute or two slower. Maybe the mid tower doesn't get pressured. And his hero starts feeling really bad. He doesn't do anything by himself. He's all about creeps. And when you're behind, the creeps will just die.
On the other hand, Zinq, you know, typically you're like, oh, if my lane goes bad, it's not too terrible. I'm an Earth Spirit, but this time, just having a great time. Continuing to block that small camp once again and providing an ease of execution there for Faith Beyond in terms of this Razor. And now the Ring of Health down there as well. So very stable lanes down bottom with a potential kill threat on the Miposhka.
I like the mana burn creep that Miposhka got. It gives a mana regen talent to Toro. So able to spam out the lane, kind of help him not have to worry about this lane too much. And he has so much regen just from everything around him.
Yeah, Faith Beyond there might have even tried to go for the Link, but didn't have the mana for it. So burning through that Razor's capability of getting some farm on. But you can see heading on into this jungle here, Zinq interrupting the stacks, and at the meantime, it's also Kunkka building his own stacks in the triangle.
Unfortunately for Toronto, Miposhka blocked his small camp with the range creep, and then the small camp killed his range creep. So slowing his game down just a little, and on the other side, nothing to say, stacks his tri-camp 3 times now in that medium camp. So he's going to start getting ahead really fast.
Yeah, on the other hand, though, Collapse, right? He'll have that ancient camp set up for him. Potentially for him, potentially for Yadro. Probably for the Axe to try and get Collapse enabled so you can actually get out on the map, I would think. You'd want to give the first round of Ancients over to your Vanguard Axe.
Getting a little bit of help from the creeps there. Ame moves over, and instead Mira's just going to redraw aggro for Collapse to get him a wave. And yeah, things evening out a bit across the map.
Nothing to say is level 6. I think he can make a rotation to this bot lane. Even though Faith Beyond's low, they feel really strong together in the bot lane.
Yadro burning through, doing what damage he can before he goes down. Will you be able to survive through this? The silence is out, but no, barely surviving there.
And the best news is that the Bank of Team Spirit is still in full action. They now got another round of stacks inside the Radiant Triangle. I feel like it's like everything they're playing for right now. They're just stacking up creeps in here. But slightly terrifying is that Kunkka and Razor are actually some of the best cores for engaging and fighting around those earlier stacks.
IO and Chaos Knight just having the ability to walk in there with this. But this Chaos Knight's having a great lane.
Can you imagine if they stole this? Like if they got in here and they fought them, like they get some vision from LGD.
The one dynamic that's interesting though is that it was all done with the range creep, so they might not even know that it was fully going on potentially. It's very easy to lose track of how many of those he's got. And they've basically been fully focused on this top lane, staying in it.
You can see now there's 3 heroes of LGD. Ame doesn't really need help in the top lane. It's pretty much just kills in top. So they can just walk bottom the supports pressure with the Razor. He's so strong with the IO.
Yeah, easy kill. 3-0 for LGD.
This was a combo that was picked, I think, in the DPC and maybe at the start of the major where they would just pick IO, Razor. Razor would go carry. I think Tundra was popularizing it a lot. It gives you a lot of sustain, gives you the attack speed. And it's a really nice combo, so they're pretty much just playing it, but with the Razor offlane.
The time has come. Yadro with the Vanguard just goes on in and going to try and clear through some of those camps.
He has no mana.
No, that's a clarity in the fountain. Needs to be back closer to him, I think.
This is very anticlimactic.
He's trying his best.
He's going to get there, don't worry, surely.
I think it's really interesting they give it to Yadro, though. Like, I know that Collapse is, like, still pressuring everything, but I feel like Axel, you come in, you take these things instantly, and you can actually enable this hero to be this sort of front line. But Yadro's had such a bad laning stage that they don't actually have that option. They can't even get to this point where they really have this big jumper and this super threat of an Axe. They just have to try and get the Bristle back to a baseline of where he's supposed to be.
I think it's more just trying to get him out of the bot lane in the most efficient spot, which is these stacks. Normally it'd be the large jungle, but...
Passing mangoes, the clarity's there, arcane boots, and suddenly are able to clear through these a lot more quickly as the Ancients start joining in on the fun, and you can see he's just going to accelerate pretty quickly.
CK Illusion comes in like,
hello.
Curious.
Collapse X, they pull him back in, and this good rotation since there's nowhere to go bottom.
Ame's coming in.
They go on in and take down the Axe. This is a dangerous spot to be in. The roll in from downtown Yadro in trouble. The lift up to Silence.
The neutrals.
Gets denied by the neutrals. But nothing to say. He might be able to come in and steal them instead.
This isn't good.
This is devastating. LGD bring numbers. They bring everybody. They're trying to stop this on Team Spirit. All the stacking going to waste. And in fact, more than waste, it's just going into the pockets of LGD.
They have to come fight this. There's a Sonic Wave.
Gotta be careful. He's thinking about it. Doesn't quite get the range. He runs into nothing to say. Has it ready. Sonic Wave out. They don't have anything. But the boat, the torrent, it connects. Isn't enough damage, though. It doesn't quite look like it. A long duration silence. Toronto barely gets out over the roll forward. He got a bottle charge. Denies Aegis. No. St. Q cleans it up. Maposhka also in trouble. LGD, they come back with a vengeance in this game number 4. Collapse, can he find something here? Wants to get the dunk, but St. Q's twinkle toesing around him. Wants to find anybody, somebody to just dunk away. Can't quite get it. The fade bolt needs one. No, it's not quite there. Nothing to say, surviving. And gives him the taunt as he saunters off. Oh, Team Spirit just got robbed.
Their greatest nightmares come to reality. The entire ancient stack gone.
The bank
away.
It's been looted. There's been a heist here by LGD.
Nothing to say with the bag over his shoulder, limps away with just a sliver of health.
6-0, 2K gold lead at about 10 minutes, and all of those cores sitting on the top. They got the juiciest creeps for themselves.
The other things we don't see is the amount of XP now that's shared. The Eye was level 4 before that, now he's level 6. Their Spirit's also level 6. I think that's after the Tome. And they're just ready to rock and roll.
All of that from a symbol illusion. Just one single illusion. Phantasm running in there and spotting all that happening.
Well,
Ame giving all the vision. Kind of commanding his team to go there, making the calls. And I think they're ready. The boat is off cooldown. They have a DD rune on the Kunkka. There's a siege mid, so they're probably going to go pressure mid. Even Io has a relocate if he needs to, but he'll probably just walk there. And this is when the real pressure of LGD heroes comes out. Even the Chaos Knights finishing Armlet up, they're hitting all these really big timings, and it's really early for them.
Yeah, and they just don't have a great response here from Team Spirit, right? There's not going to be a Blink Dagger for a while on Collapse. No good counter initiation outside of something like a heal, maybe trying to get a little bit more sustain onto your teammates. And obviously, with missing out on that big collection of neutrals, Yandere is not really at a place where he wants to engage.
I'm really scared for the Bristle right now. There's a relocate. The Io's with the Razor on top. Kunkka's kind of jungling close, but even with just Chaos Knight and Earth Spirit, they can have 4 heroes here almost instantly.
Yeah, respecting the rotations from Team Spirit, I'm a little bit surprised.
I mean, they know that they're so far ahead right now, and if you do sort of overextend, it can go badly very quickly. But as you say, the danger of that is pretty low, but the consequences would be catastrophic.
They're building in a double BKBs now on LGD. BKB on Kunkka, BKB on Razor. BKB is kind of the item you just buy every game on every hero, and it's always good, but it matters so much when you get it this early on both their heroes.
Just repeat that one more time for the people in the audience here. BKB, every
item.
game,
good
every
item.
hero, always good. Okay.
Also 4 deaths on the offlaners of Midas.
That's right.
Don't forget that one.
We did learn that one. That one's also true. So you win some, you lose some at the major, you know?
But yeah, I think LGD right now is just using their hero. They're kind of abusing the map in the same way Spirit is. And the reason they're fine with trading 50-50, like both are taking the ancient creeps, both are taking the jungle, it's because they know they're ahead. So even if you 50-50, you hit your timings faster.
Good stun. Yadro just getting absolutely chunked there by Ame. They're reloading in. Yadro TP's out immediately. Xingqiu rolls, can't quite get there. Ame wanted to hit that tower, okay?
They see the relocate on top, though. They're setting up.
Oh, this would be not
There's
great.
also still a
It's a bait, though.
They move on in, boat down onto the back line. Zamira caught, has a steal if he wants to use it, pulls back in Io, stun. Do they have enough damage? Yadro is right in the midst of all of them. Starting to stack it up, but with Collapse already dead, Sonic Wave, it's not gonna be there. Why just heals everybody back up? The Chen heal is looking pretty good. Ame, he has dropped very low though, and Toronto Tokyo cleans it up with a double kill. Maybe this is better than I thought. The plasma field hit onto both of them. LGD, they're in too far. We've seen this story before. How did it go so wrong?
The sustain from the Chen, he just picked up the mech, he got the ult off, and it's just so much healing over time on everyone from Spirit. Their damage is so low on LGD. Once the boat rump comes out, the damage just looks so much higher from Spirit at that point in the fight.
Maybe we're seeing why they didn't want to take that chance earlier, but take the fight on the return from the relocate and get punished. And suddenly, Spirit, they've got a way back into this after it was looking pretty rough for them.
Yeah, perhaps the only downside is that Collapse does fall, so not progressing towards that Blink Dagger that they need. But Yadro surviving is certainly the big one. He's trying to find his way into this game.
Looks like he's just rushing up BKB as opposed to the Ags that we normally see from Bristle. His team has a lot of damage and sustain, but it's still, it feels bad when you can't go the Ags on Bristle.
Yeah, I mean, the silence is there from the Earth Spirit as well as the control from the CK until the talent comes out later. Obviously the Kunkka too, so it's definitely understandable why, but certainly not a way that you want to go in most of your Bristle matches.
He also kind of commits. He buys the hammer. Some people would buy the Ogre Axe just to, maybe I can go the Ags if we win another fight.
We get Aegis, right, guys? You know?
But he goes for the Mythor Hammer. He knows what he wants to buy.
That's self-control right there is what that is. You know, he's putting a limit on himself intentionally.
And you see Xinq's also building into a Vessel, which hopefully will help their issues with all the healing and the sustain. It actually lets them kill the hero because of all the reduction. But this point in the game is a little scary now. LGD is probably just going to chill back, farm their BKBs. Razor's almost has his. Kunkka's still about 1,000 gold away. And they need to hit the next set of timings because obviously the first set of item timings wasn't enough.
Yeah, and now with the Sonic Wave coming back soon for Toronto Tokyo, with the Blink Dagger up on Collapse, you imagine they might want to go for a smoke play here as well. Try and grab a quick pick. They have great vision in that dire jungle right now, seeing the duo of Razor and Io farming it up.
I like the way they play this co-op with the Chen. I think you can understand why they first phase both of them. They use a Sonic Wave just to reset the fight. It's kind of a stun in a sense, where it pushes them back for a second, delays the fight, lets the Chen heal over time, kind of go to work, lets him get in position to mech. And at the end of the fight, Co-op does a lot in chasing. She has a blink, she has her dagger. Her damage over time is relatively good, but it's really good when you have 1,000 more health just on every one of your heroes.
Yeah, the heal really turned all that around for them.
They see them both, and Team Spirit hunting through the forest.
Blink Dagger on the axe.
They're ready. Call there immediately. Follow up onto Faith Beyond. Can they get out with any of them? Why? Dead. Sonic Wave pushes them to the high ground. The boat looking for a turn, but this fight already looks pretty rough, although it might be good.
Nice stun.
Roll in. Round 2. Can they do it? Faith Beyond still living through this, but collapsed. He doesn't get the dunk, but he does the damage. Will it be enough? They're showing up late to this with Yadro, but it will be there to kill off Faith Beyond. Ame, the one that's left alive, and there's only 2 for LGD. Team Spirit, again, they sustain through this fight. They take down the IO, and then they take down 3 more.
This Kunkka just looks thin as paper in these fights. He's not lasting past the initial boat run. Just getting absolutely torn apart by just physical damage, like quills.
I feel like the last couple of times we said LGD, they just need to sit back and chill and wait and all that stuff, and it's true. A couple of times I feel like now either been baited into a fight or just been forced into bad ones.
Nice blink timing by the Axe. He gets the IO. He survives just a little bit longer, and he maybe gets that Holy Locket off.
Oh, meanwhile.
Back in the land of the world here. Xinq goes in, kills off 1. Toronto Tokyo forced to blink away, so LGD come back with a little bit of a vengeance here.
Yeah, collapse though.
Got to be careful. The big jump, if they can get a call, and you can see LGD, they split up immediately, but that leaves one
big
alone.
Big save.
Tries to do it. Why? Gets him relocated out. Nicely played by LGD. The boat, the torrent, it connects onto Collapse. He might be too far forward. The link is there. Collapse in trouble, starting to die, but he barely walks away. Xinq, he wants him. The silence, but he's not dying. The Urn charge, the roll, he's able to dodge it. The other side of the fight, they can't quite get him. Cole
he's out of Urn.
Dodging, he isn't gonna get him. Collapse still choking, jamming, getting away. Oh, Collapse Twinkle Toes.
Oh, they sacrificed Mira in the back line, though, but they'll take it to keep Axe alive and going here. Immediately back to farming. Is under a ward right now at very low HP, though.
The biggest concern for LGD is they need to get a kill within the X stun right now. It feels like the Razor isn't strong enough to be early in the fights. He just got his BKB on the Kunkka, so it kind of ends up being he boats, they blink away because of all the healing of Chen, and then once the fight's reset, Spirit's always in the lead.
God. And again, you can see the good play relocating out by Y, Faith Beyond out there.
This is the Bristle game, right? Like the way that he's playing these fights, he's forcing him to split, and then Collapse gets to choose his moment. Even if they get the reload save, that's one of the beautiful things about the Axe, is that it is a a shorter cooldown initiation. It's a bit of a commitment, of course, but it's not like he's then worthless for like 2 minutes or something. So
unfortunately, I think nothing to say missed the Tidebringer hit on the Axe.
Yeah.
So he limps away with just a sliver of health. it was really close to being okay, but even if they get the axe, it doesn't feel amazing. You're going to lose the Earth Spirit, maybe even they get chased down. The only reason that Team Spirit feels the need to walk up and walk away is because the axe is surviving.
Poshka there, you can see constantly talking with his team, keeping them in good spirits, and very little separating these two squads. Axe has his Blink Dagger. It's going to take a little while as he's fallen somewhat behind to get into that next item, but the Chen is making up for it. And LGD, they make the call. It's time to take this tower, shut down some more of the map, because they've lost their own already.
They do have a great ward right now from Team Spirit on the other side of the river, so Collapse sort of keeping an eye on what they're up to, but just going to grab the wave, pull it over, and they're going to move their way towards that Roche pit and see if they can take over the top half of the map.
Another big timing is going to be this Refresher for Faith Beyond. It'll actually let him kill heroes. It gives him so much damage in the fights, double BKBs. He can survive, but it's still, 1,600 gold away. And it's hard to ask to wait for that, especially when the enemy has the opportunity to Roche. They have Chen, Bristle. There's so much threat that you get when you're just not on the Roche side of the map, on this top side, that LGD is just going to constantly feel in the back of their head, are they Roching, where are they? Are they smoking at us? And you don't really know what's happening.
So often it's been Faith Beyond that's been able to carry them through these games a couple of different times on this Razor, making all those big calls and moments happen. We'll see if he can do it for them again.
They've given him so much of this IO throughout this game, right? Like just farming through right now. This is a really nice timing of potential BKB Refresher.
Ahmed does finish his Blink Dagger, so gonna probably look for the Chen. I think if the Chen dies early, it matters a lot for Spirit. Even though he doesn't really do damage, the heal and sustain from Chen, if he goes down first, doesn't get any mech off, doesn't get ult off, then the Spirit heroes have the ability to die, but they're already in the pit.
Yep, and Roshan starting to drop. Will fall very quickly with all the minus armor, and I don't know if LGD are going to be in a position to come and contest this. This is the full BKB completed for Toronto Tokyo.
Collapse is
smoked up
on the wave up top right now.
They want to move in, yeah, no axe nearby, and they came just a couple seconds too late. LGD reveal themselves there. Toronto Tokyo does not have the Aegis, but rolls in right away, pops the BKB, wants to take down Y, does not have another blink yet.
Ame jumped in the back line.
Can they get him? The Torrent, lift up. That was from the Rubik. Mira doing a good job of controlling Maposhka down low. They need Collapse.
There's a boat.
He's a little ways away. Can he get there in time? Stolen boat. So they have the rum. Yadaro strong, jumps in, finds one, Collapse onto Faith Beyond, trying to bring him down in the duration of that BKB. Can Yadaro find him and chase him? The slow is there. Oh, they interrupt though. They get on Toronto Tokyo, so Yadaro stays on Faith Beyond, gets the kill. On a killing spree, the slow, steady burn down. Nothing to say, starting to fall. They kill off Toronto Tokyo. The trade so far is 2 for 1, but it's the Aegis for Spirit.
You can see the damage that LGD has if they survive the Chen heals.
Yeah.
They have the damage to kill the heroes. It's mostly just the Chen heals surviving. Because even when Boat Rum kind of runs out, Chaos Knight's constantly critting. Razor's going to reduce armor more and more, steal more and more damage. Io, every second he's alive, is healing your teammates for more.
And at the very least, he didn't get the kill, but he did force out like the instantaneous heals required from the Chen, right? He just had to pop it right away.
But if the Chen went down without clicking a button, that fight, I think it would have been a lot different, because there's just overtime heal from Hand of God now.
I mean, it's still a pretty good win as well. Like lots of XP, lots of gold for the side of LGD. Sure, they get an Aegis on the side of Team Spirit, but some confidence, I feel like, heading back the way of LGD as this progresses. And do they have to find an answer, I guess is the question now for Yadro? Like, is there something specific they should itemize for, or just go like, we just need the big damage?
I think Nothing to Say is already buying an AC. He's pretty close to finishing it, about 1,000 gold away, and that'll give armor to everyone. They all got a little tank here. But mostly just the Razor Refresher. The double Eye of the Storm kind of makes it so heroes can't walk close to you. They'll die. And Yatoro's also not buying armor. So if he's next to the Razor for 2-3 seconds, he starts going to the negatives. That's when you start just dying. Also with the AC, the negative armor, it's all going to kind of add up really soon.
They do have some of that negative armor also with Yadro, the Aghanim Scepter that you're talking about there. X onto Collapse. That's a stolen one from Mira.
The other big thing is Y is finishing up his mech. And I with mech is comparable to Chen, but only for the one hero.
Yeah.
But it will be a full fight reset for like Ame. If Ame can jump in, he maybe gets 1-2 kills, he gets bursted down. And they're going to smoke up even before the mech.
The Refresher's right here. Testing, trying to find it. Maposhka, the first one found. Does he get anything off? No, doesn't have buyback either. Team Spirit recognized this, immediately run away. Everybody tries to get out. Can LGD run them down? Mira, he's the one that's left behind. The X is there. And they'll catch and kill the Rubik. So LGD find the 2 supports.
Yeah, the second Ched goes down, I don't know if Team Spirit is ever going to feel confident in a fight without him unless they're instantly jumping the backline with the axe or your Toro's already going in. If you have the ability to dodge that fight, you should just not take it.
That was such a weird start to an engagement too. They were trying to bait the Queen of Pain. Not even bait, check the high ground with the Queen of Pain. She was X'd up by the Rubik who had it, and so she's like checking the pillar, and Mapochka's like, oh, so it's safe here? And then it was not, because he got instantly blown up there.
Nice roll from ZinQ to catch Mapochka. I wasn't sure if he was aiming for the X on the return.
Yeah.
But whether or not he was, he hit the Chen. That's all that mattered.
They really wanted, that's for sure.
And still not needing to pop that refresher for Faith Beyond. So he'll have that double BKB for the next fight. BKB also done on Chaos Knight. 4,000 gold lead for LGD.
I think he's probably going to buy a Mage Slayer with this Oblivion stuff on Chaos Knight. It's a really nice item versus actually all the cores of Spirit.
Yeah. Every
single one of them has spells that matter a lot for their kit. With the Axe Spin, the Bristleback Quills, Quap does everything as all our spell damage, so it'll mean that whoever he goes on doesn't really burst his illusion zone. Even nothing to say, he finishes up the AC. It's kind of all their timing, so LGD is going to look to smoke. They got the refresher, he didn't even have to pop it in the last fight.
40 seconds until the Aegis is down as well, so good opportunity here for them to move up.
Again, they're going to be looking for this Chen. I think anyone else is probably too tanky, even Toronto Tokyo. Queen of Pain, you don't really think of as a strong hero, but she has Plate Mail, she has BKB. She's not going to get burst in a stun, so...
Smoke on smoke.
He's right in front, though, on the Chen, too.
They get vision down. They see those couriers leaving. They know they're right behind him on LGD.
There you go.
Looking for that opening, looking for vision. Do they drop down any more wards? Team Spirit just a couple of seconds ahead of LGD.
All right, well, he's at the Wild Wing Ripper, you know, maybe. Oh, he left the creeps.
They spot ZinQ. They know they're right behind him. Do they turn and try and fight this? This is the Aghanim Scepter done on the Bristle. Buyback status, only Mira and Io have it.
Team Spirit's going to try to bait them into this high ground ward they just placed. They're all going to kind of stand here. They're going to go cut the next mid wave that's going to push out. And they're going to hope that at some point LGD decides to walk backwards into them. But unfortunately for them, LGD is kind of in the better position of the map. They're closer to a tower. Ame already cut like half of the last mid wave, so they're going to just take this tier 1 tower and just going to sit in the corner and now force Spirit to walk to them.
Yeah, and they had a read on that as well, right? Like they're like microing their couriers around that area, just ensuring that ZinQ's not going to lose.
Look at this double TP mid.
Send one back here. Toronto Tokyo gets caught. They roll into Mira, but they can't get him. Gets the lift immediately. Toronto Tokyo did have to pop his BKB.
That was a really nice play. I think they were assuming that the Queen of Pain would pop BKB on the X, and ZinQ kind of realized that, so he goes on the Rubik. Unfortunately, gets lifted, but really nice thinking to not just commit everything on the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, kind of chasing a little bit here, too. They're going to see this with the vision they have in the mid lane, though, so well aware that it's everybody running over here from the side of LGD.
You can see Collapse. He TPs to the outpost just from the tri-camp. He's just so scared of connecting through this river that he knows he needs to be with his team, and they're going to make a move.
I think they might have double smoke there as well, unfortunately. D-ward happening.
Why? That's a good one to fight. They get him right at the start. That's the save. That's everything. They try and blow him up. Torn too, but why? He gets away. The mech is there. ZinQ down low, rolls out. Why dead? But it's already 2 dead on Team Spirit.
They're putting a lot of faith in the Aghanim's Bristle to Sonic Wave just the Io, saying that's our big damage now.
They caught the Quap.
And with no BKB, that's a little bit of a problem. Can they bring her down? Gets the blink out and trying to escape from that. The Tidebringer connects, does have another blink up in a second. And Toronto Tokyo goes north.
Pretty sneaky.
Just a little, like not enough damage for this Io. He gets the Holy Locket off. He didn't have the mech in the fight. So next fight, it's going to be even more healing.
That's actually terrifying.
Man, LGD definitely found their mojo after not picking Naga Siren.
These fights are going to be...
Yeah.
These fights are a little weird right now to kind of see how they'll play out. There's different timings for the fights. The first like 10 seconds during this boat run, amazing, great for LGD. They got to win the fight there.
Then run.
And then the next like 10, 15 seconds, that's when the Chen has healed everyone. That's when the Bristle Goose stacks start popping up, the BKB's lower. But then in a really long fight, that's when the Razor's burned all your armor, the Chaos Knight's gone on maybe 1, 2, 3 targets with his blink stuns. So if the fight gets too long, it starts going in the favor of LGD. So Spirit need to find this sweet spot where they go in after the rum, but before they've taken too much damage.
All while keeping Mahoshkas nice and safe.
Kite,
Yeah,
kite.
just all you have to do is that.
Yeah, that's it. All right, perfect.
No problem. And for LGD, it's just a matter of, like you say, finding that key target, getting Maposhka, or extending those fights as long as possible while kiting collapses. Big old calls.
The next big item, Ame is going to go for a Silver Edge to break the Bristle. I think once they get to that point in the game, that's when they just start focusing the Bristle who walks in front. And it starts feeling really bad when you walk up and you have no threat with your just body being there.
Well, everyone's looking at items right now, seeing what the next timing will be for themselves, but the Roche is going to be about 1.5 minutes away here now.
Another interesting item, Nothing to Say picks up the Basher.
Yes.
I'm assuming this is probably just to help cancel TPs, because the Chaos Knight doesn't really want a Basher, and they don't want to let them just BKB TP out from his whole team.
Yep.
Radiant
You know they're going triple BKBs as well, with that Axe being there next.
This was all scouted out, and Team Spirit knew that LGD was coming this direction. They had that ward on the high ground, and they all are going to be able to dodge this smoke gank. Collapse escaping from this. 25 seconds till TP's back up. But, oh, wait a minute. They clip him. He shows on the tower. Oh, Collapse. A rare mistake from him. And nowhere left to go. They punish. LGD find their man.
He's 30 minutes. He maybe forgot that there's a tier 1 tower there,
That's
assuming
fair.
it's dead.
Those things are hard to knock down these days on that part of the map, you know?
But
It just tends to live there.
Something surprising, Collapse has a shard queued up, which a lot of people, I think, weren't really interested in after the change to, it being the Manta-style axe where the spins on attacks.
Yeah.
But the really cool thing is it's all attack damage, I believe. So that if he gets 5, he needs 5 spins, keep in mind.
Okay.
But if he gets 5 spins on the Razor or the Chaos Knight, they start doing 100% less damage just to the axe. So he becomes very tanky, but the Blade Mail will still reflect full damage. The issue is just getting there in the fight, because if you're asking an axe to survive for 5 spins on one target,
It gets a bit tough these days. But they'll grab one free pickup here. They're not able to get Toronto Tokyo. It'll be someone a little bit less valuable there in Mira. But that Roche is now finally up. Ame immediately into the pit. He knows about this. They got the vision up on the pillar. There are river wards here. It's going to spot all this action around the pit. But, not really able to get here in time for Team Spirit.
No, it looks like it's going to be more time to delay. And LGD claiming this Aegis here 30 minutes in. We have so often seen this be the one that shuts down that map and constricts up Spirit. We'll see if they can do that again and actually clean up this game here.
I really like the Lotus from Yatoro on the Bristleback. There's so many things that it's the vessel, it's the silence. Even being able to click it on himself before the Razor links him, so he's able to sit in the fight and not get linked down. It's just a really nice pickup. It gives him armor as well to kind of counteract this Chaos Knight Razor.
Yeah, and a couple things, right, that it could help versus like that Razor, like that CK. Maybe you get a good bounce back at a fortunate situation.
Ame has a lot of different items there.
It's also, like you said, the Dispel, like you can't really buy Refresher, on this hero. It does not feel very good. We've seen it happen, to be fair, when the BKB is just that important. But
For the Bristle, yeah.
Yeah, some cheaper Dispels can be helpful.
Yeah, Vlad's picked up for Chen. It's all these little tiny items, the 2,000 gold items that give this tiny aura, give this, this one purge here, a little force staff there, that kind of matter in these fights, because every inch matters so much when the games are close.
Collapse has finally managed to finish off his BKB with even hanging on to that Philosopher's Stone, just realizing that he needed that badly, and there was no areas for him to really farm on the map.
Also, Toronto finishing Shiva, so hopefully it'll help them burst either the IO or the guy he's healing, because of all the heal reduction that'll come out. It'll work.
Oh, that X popped on Toronto Tokyo, so I think he got the knowledge there. Unfortunately, no Yules to attempt to cancel that.
They do have the other 4 heroes grouped together smoking, and could head on down to this bottom side of the map. A couple others are down here. 3 minutes still left on the Aegis. Would not be anticipating this type of a fight, but we'll see if they try and take it to him.
Nothing to say is walking up, but he's kind of the harder target to kill. 3,000 HP, still a BKB. They're probably hoping more for ZenQ. If he can die really early with no BKB, and they're just going to keep holding this hill ward. But you can see he's so good. He knows the exact range of this hill ward, and he just stands right in the fog until his team's ready.
And there they are, Faith Beyond, the first one down, jumps in, gets the call, no link off. Meanwhile, Toronto Tokyo finding wide, trying to kill him off in time. It's not quite looking at it, stolen boat though, so they're gonna have their own version of the rum. Pulls him back in with that X and the bristleback, starting to tank up that damage. And now he's got the rum buff, but will it be enough? Yadro living through it all. Yadro doing too much damage and collapse. He's coming online. A couple more controls. Do they have it? They pull back in that bristle. Can they kill him? No! Yadro lives. The stolen boat that won the fight, and the taunt comes out. BKB there, and Ame just forced to try and TP out of there, dropping some items in front of him.
Drop the blink.
Jeez, I might have jumped out for that blink. I don't know. I was kind of tempting.
Oh my God. The Rubik and the power that you get when you steal their spells.
The other thing at the start of that fight as well, Zincu got right into the backlines. He did get a silence onto Maposhka. So got a little bit hairy there, but as it expired, he pops the Hand of God just to get that heal rolling for the team, and that's what helps Yadro stay up there alongside that boat.
Yeah, so much healing on the Razor in that fight, but it just wasn't enough to keep him alive. I think they reeled him out too, but he got X backwards into the fight, and just too much sustain.
Oh, collapse. Taunted. Where's the team? They're coming in, but the Blade Mail's there. Mira gets the lift.
Oh, Spirit Vessel into the roll.
He's very low, needs to back out. The mech is there, but it's not doing as much as they might want. Still, the Bristle very strong. On the low ground, Mira gets caught. Collapse with another call, the roll through. Toronto Tokyo doing the damage to Ame. He's hit Creeps to region, but it's not enough. They all die again. Team Spirit, they blow it open, and Ame, he just didn't have enough.
He came back to save Mira. Collapse zoned into the fight by Zincu, but stays there. A desperation attempt with a kill there from Ame turns into 70 seconds in the grave.
And how much can they get now? They're ready to go high ground here.
There's some big creeps alongside Maposhka.
This is so dangerous. Toronto Tokyo blinks forward. They've got the BKB. Nothing to say, he's also X'd. Wants to hang on to that BKB as long as possible.
They're so strong with no Chaos Knight. Kind of the break is the only mechanic they can use to kill this Bristle right now. So if Chaos Knight's dead, they have nothing.
Move on in
here from Zincu.
Nothing to say. They're looking. There's no other answer. The Bristle, it's standing right in front of you.
BKBs.
You got to deal with it at some point. Still 30 seconds. Toronto Tokyo had blinked in for this one. The backlines. Zincu just dies. Why? Now also found and finished. The Sonic Wave, they're dead for so long. LGD isn't really all going to happen like this. Oh, Team Spirit, they found their moment and hit it perfectly and collapsed. He finds nothing to say, trying to kill creeps, forced to BKB and run away. But Ame, he's back up again, 5 seconds away, but it's down 2 racks.
You can see LGD, they look pretty shocked right now on the player cams. They've lost 2 racks after a Roche and a fight in the mid.
And how quickly it can happen. The lift, the taunt, Faith Beyond. It wasn't meant to go like this. The boat is out. He refreshes. He BKBs. He tries to run away. They run out of there by Ame too.
They're just trying to buy time for their supports to be alive. But when you buy time and you use your spells to kind of kite this out, they can't even fight when the supports respawn.
Yeah, and even now, Yadro still having a BKB, also one as well, remaining for Collapse too. So really, Toronto Tokyo can kind of just lurk in the back and wait to jump in after if they can provide that space, even without a BKB of his own.
They have not left. They are still there. They are ready to go. They have left. The Falk was on the other one. But they could come back in a moment. Watch out. 87% now.
Yeah. I will say, it's not the biggest lead, though. You know, it's only about 6K. We've seen LGD do this before, there's no doubt. They have the tactics, they have that style of being able to sort of trick you into going on someone. But they're going to have to pull it all out right now in game number 4.
Got to reach deep for those mentals.
It all goes down to that play. They kind of just walked into the Ward of Spirit. And ever since that one fight, it's just kind of spiraled out of control.
It was very unusual to see that too, like no even attempt at a D-ward, right? Game through that space. Part of that maybe on the sports as well. You don't have that easy vision onto the high ground.
It's also hard when you're IO. IO doesn't really want to ward, D-ward. You kind of have to focus on your own game. So kind of having to mix up the supports is sometimes a struggle. Obviously LGD, you know, world-class team.
Well, they're going to need to prove it here for sure, and they've proven it time and again. They've been able to do it in so many of these late-game scenarios. The Harpy Scout outside of vision. The roll forward, Zincu has been the man for him time and again. Not infinite mana this time.
I think Team Spirit probably feels really confident about the game. They are up 2 racks. They might just wait for Roche, kind of secure the game. They have there's a inner feeling they have right now where if LGD goes on the Bristle and he doesn't die, they're just going to win the game. And so even if he just wants to say buyback, he probably doesn't even need to say buyback. If they're going on him, his Chen's going to save him, Axe, Quap. They have so much counter initiation and disengage that they can kind of just stand in front and just wait for the Roche.
And there it is, the refresher, the double jump, double BKB. Well, you don't have to refresh dunk unless you blow it, so at least you got that as well.
The smoke up, they're not going to be ready for this. They've got all the vision. We've seen it before, but Collapse, he's the one that's under their ward, so now they spot him. They go, Ame jumps, where's the target? Maposhka at the start, a 4-second stun, it's pretty good. The lift up dead, no buyback on the Chen.
That's huge.
Can they do it? LGD, do they fight for more? But Collapse, he might be able to find him. The slowdown is there. Xingqiu saved by Y. LGD, they're fighting through this as good as they possibly can.
Oh, that's tough though.
But they pull him back in. Ame finds Collapse. They jump in. Toronto Tokyo has him. He's left alone again. Ame buys back immediately. Nothing to say. Tries to run. Collapse. He has round 2 here. Looking for another call, but the jump forward. Toronto Tokyo takes down. Nothing to say. Collapse finds them all, trying to survive through this. It's not looking good. Team Spirit, they went too far.
It starts with an IO saving the support. It doesn't look that good. They continue to chase. They're running right through just vision. They're chasing. They see so much. It looks like it's going to be free to chase down LGD, but they find that damage, and without the saves being there, that initial kill onto the Chen, they couldn't get as much of their plays here out of Yadaro.
Unfortunately, it's a kind of later spawn. I think it was 2 minutes on the Roche, so it won't be up until all of Spirit have respawned, but...
What a big comeback here this was.
I love the hesitation at first from Ame, right? He immediately jumps back. Couldn't get the Hurricane onto himself and maybe get back, but probably wouldn't have been enough in the end. Silences in the back line to prevent Rubik with the save at the same time from Xingqiu. Jumps all the way back, and when it looks like he's about to go down after the Sonic Wave, the save comes through from Y with the mech and the relocate. But then this is what looks so dangerous, because Yadaro's still chasing down. This still looks like the typical fight we've had, and they jump right on to Ame and take him down so quickly.
There's a really nice BKB by Collapse. I don't think Ame was expecting it. It kind of caught him off guard. He dodged the stun, but they get a little too confident. They chase. I don't even know if Ame had a buyback at the very end. Even just the Razor and the Earth Spear might have just cleaned it up.
Yeah, and even able to just get that Spear Vessel down there one more time onto the Bristleback. Help cut him through.
That power of that Razor when you get the refresher and you're left alone. Faith Beyond making the plays for his team yet again.
Yeah, painfully though, waiting inside this Roche pit. Like, come on, where is it? Spider legsing through, checking, but they have to give it up.
Abyssal is finished on nothing to say. He had it in the last fight, but it's so hard for him. Once the Bristle gets on him, he's so fast. If the second the BKB's out, he's just going to be permanently slowed, and it's really hard for LGD right now. The buybacks are kind of their biggest, I think, especially on the Razor. Either buying back or just never dying, and it's really hard to ask for him to not die.
4,000 gold, all that's separating these two, and the buyback's that key thing that we're talking about here. Kunkka, Io, and the Queen of Pain, a lot more soon to come with the gold. But will they manage to take this next Roche fight? That's going to be the big thing to watch for.
Oh, it's an Aghanims as well.
God, for the Chen, oh, that'd be super good. I mean, for a lot of these different heroes, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it could be almost any of their heroes.
Yeah, it really could.
Even the Queen of Pain, I think the fights are lasting so long now that 40 seconds he'll probably get 2 ults off, be able to reset. He can also hold it just to kill the Chaos Knight illusions, but
we can all agree not collapse though, right? We're not doing the armor strats on this axe.
Well, he would get armor for every Chaos Knight illusion.
That's true.
One big call.
Battle hunger him up. You know?
Yeah, and then they all die, and then the battle hungers go away. That 2 seconds though, you'd have 100-something armor.
That's 2 seconds of glory right there.
So 40 minutes in, and the smoke up as 5. Now, in this area, Rubik is, well, actually rather, Razor is already in a really good position.
Look how close Ame is at 25 as well. Oh, this is kind of painful, that fight now.
Looking for him. Who they spot, Collapse, spots it. Danger, danger. Miro Maposhka back away. Yadaro shows, roll on in. Xingqiu is far forward and ahead and gets dunked. Collapse finds him. Just a bit too far forward, and that might be enough to maybe even get them Roche. We'll see. Toronto Tokyo, Sonic Wave already out, misses onto everybody.
Zoning.
Zoning, yeah, just zoning. Making a little bit of space there as they head into the pit.
Unfortunately for ZinQ, he just finished the BKB. He didn't get it off because he got lifted during the roll, and now he has no buyback for the Roche.
They're right back in here. Refresher's still set here on that Razor.
Looks for it, but it's too late.
Everything's on the ground.
That's all in there. They're ready for it. They get the Aegis. Faith Beyond caught. Bullet the save. Why? It was right there. Can they get back in to defend this? Toronto Tokyo gets the cops the BKB. Trying to chase. This fight's so separated, though. They're just going to have to send back the IO. No, they come back with both. Faith Beyond's ready to fight. He doesn't care. Goes into all of them. Gets the link on to collapse the BKB, but it's not looking good. He gets torn apart.
Oh, they don't even need the cheese.
They do have the buyback, though, if they need it from him. Buyback already came from Mira, and Spirit fully surrounded. Ame dead. 2 minutes on the sidelines with no Chaos Knight.
Something about Team Spirit and best of fives.
And leaving the cheese. They just don't want it. They never need it. They leave it behind all the time.
They just cannot be stopped here as they run forward. 2 minutes without Ame's haters. Where are you now? Toronto Tokyo will not be stopped in game, will not be stopped typing as they run on into the Fountain Dang near. Toronto Tokyo jumps on in, finds nothing to say, brings him down. Chen is gone though. ZinQ found the back line. Do they have enough? I don't think so. Toronto Tokyo still very low on mana. Faith Beyond chasing him down, wanting to get that kill, but can't quite get him.
Oh, that's an Axe Berserker's call.
Big old chunk in, finds ZinQ. Toronto Tokyo still lives through all of it. 70 seconds until Ami. Can they wait that long? Yadaro, he doesn't want to play anymore. Trying to finish this off. Wants to end the DPC, wants to end the major. He wants victory now. Can they stop him? I don't think so.